is legacy. For 5 to 7 minutes, I want to introduce you tonight, Mr. Toastmaster Horace Freeman.
Fellow Toastmasters. As I sat watching the television and seeing the different scenes of brutality initiated against us individuals that were seeking equality and civil rights, the anger swelled within me. These were my ancestors, my people. And so I felt justified with that anger rising within me. In fact, as I watched further, I felt that this was part of my legacy. And so I felt justified. Then came the speech. Dr. Martin Luther King moved up to the podium, and I stood there. He began to speak. And his words were not filled with anger. He had suffered some of that brutality. However, he did not retaliate with hatred. And he said, I have a dream. The words moved to the wall that I built up. And I listened. That one day my children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Yes, he had a dream, but I had a legacy. You see, I had experienced enough of that being judged by my skin color, to the point that I felt that my legacy at this point was stronger than his dream. And yet, a voice came, and it said, hear it again. And I listened to the speech a second time. Hear it again. I listened to the speech a third time. Then they began to resonate within my spirit that the words were his, but where did they originate? And I remember hearing at one point, reading at one point, judge not, lest you be judged. Do not judge others. These words began to beat upon the wall. And yet, I still seem to sense that there was more. And then I heard, we hold these truths. I felt the blows against that wall. That all men are created equal. I felt a crack in the wall. That they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. The wall buckled. Among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. this man not only was speaking of a dream, but it was going all the way back to the words that were partial foundation of a new nation. A nation that welcomed people from around the world. And in welcoming these people, all of them coming for a legacy. The legacy of the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness, and the chance that this new nation afforded them. And I knew that the legacy I had cheapened it to the point that I had allowed it to be so minuscule to where it was for a certain group instead of all people. And so I discarded that legacy and reached for that other legacy in which all men are created equal. As I began to meditate on this, I realized we do have certain legacies. These legacies can be good and bad, even to the degree that we must realize we have to fight for these certain legacies. And so, now, understanding the legacy that I now grab hold of, I fight. And in that fight, I know this. There are certain legacies afforded to me. I'm standing before you now, part of one. Toastmasters International. What is it? It is a legacy where some of the best leaders, some of the best communicators all around the world are part of it. We must understand that legacy and then fight to preserve it, because in this age of communication there's so much that is happening that these things are not being afforded to others. And so I challenge you today, accept that legacy and let's preserve it for those that come behind us, that they may be very